Hey guys!
Today we're going to show you how to make a delicious black bean beef stir fry 2 ways.
That's right, I'm going to show you how to prepare all your veggies and meat in advance so when you come home, you can cook a fresh meal in 5 minutes.
And I'm going to show you how to make meal prep the way we always do.
So, let's get started. So it's Sunday and you've gone out and you bought all your veggies. So out here on our board, we have everything you need. So everyone first gets 1 garlic. I'm just going to give a quick Just a quick one of these, how you going? Quick as you going, and then boom. Easy as that. Garlic for 1, garlic for 1. Perfect, in we go. On to number 2. Just tuck those fingers back.
And you can always use a garlic crusher if you'd rather do that.
You can use a garlic crusher. I just, you know, meditation for me is cutting.
We know you like to use your knife, Adam.
Cutting stuff.
I think everyone knows you like to use your knife now.
That's right. Now we're going to go on to the onion. So onion, top, tail, flip it over in half, peel it. Now we're just going to do a rough dice. So we're going to go long ways. Keep the onion down, slice this way, then you'll spin it around. Ooh, now slice this way. Very quick. Perfect. Place a little bit of onion in each of the bowls, in each of the containers I mean. Okay guys, I want you to comment below what you call this vegetable. I call it a shallot from Australia. You guys call it green onion. That for later. And we're just going to cut these little ends off. And then we're just going to slice these up, squeeze them all together, and then just nice thin slices. Whoa, they're going everywhere. If you don't feel confident doing them all at the same time, just do 1 or 2 at a time. Now again, we're just going to separate them into the bowl. So just take a little handful, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do the green part, and this is going to be for garnish. So we're actually going to cut it on an angle and make triangles. So you can keep them all like this, and just put your knife on an angle, and then slice this way. And it's going to give you a nice triangle or a diamond.
Ooh.
Which is going to be pretty for garnish.
So fancy.
So we're just going to put this in a separate container so you can sprinkle it on for garnish. Onto the carrots. So we're just going to give these a quick peel and then we're going to slice them up. Okay, so now we're going to top and we're going to tail. Get rid of those bits. Cut them right down the middle, lengthways. Just like the green onions or the shallots, we're going to cut them onto a diamond shape. So hold them like this, knife on an angle. Okay, now all the carrots are cut, we're going to weigh them out, and we're going to look for about 50 grams. Now, onto the broccoli. You can just slice away, however you like. We're going to weigh it up, and we're looking for about 100 grams. 105, that'll do me. Here we go. Here we have some organic baby corn. We just washed this. Now we're going to cut them in half. So, there we go. And let's go. Pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to look for 85 grams. Now the veggies are done. We're just going to put the lids on and pop them in the fridge. Okay, so now we're going to prepare the meat and we're going to put it into 1 container. Now we're going to show you a little life hack that we're going to use to keep the meat separate. So you're going to grab some tin foil, slice off 6 inches, and then we're going to go this way. Perfect. And we're going to pop this in like this, and it's going to keep our meat separated, and we can just keep everything in 1 container. For this recipe, you can just get a cheap cut of beef. So whatever country you're in, go to your butcher, find a cheap cut of meat or a secondary cut of meat. So we got here, we have a top round, and we are just going to show you now how to dice it up. So we want some nice thin slices for this. So we're actually gonna cut it in half, long ways. Cut it in half like this. Perfect. And then separate that into 2 different slices. And then we're gonna cut really thin on the angle. Just like that. Should be nice and thin, nice and thin. Perfect. There's a little bit of fat at the end, you just get rid of that bit, done that bit. Okay, so now we have this, on to the next bit. Now that we've sliced the beef, we're going to pop it into a bowl and we're going to cover it with arrowroot. You could also use corn flour, but we're going to use arrowroot today. What that's going to do is it's going to seal the beef and it's going to keep it fresh. As long as you use it within 5 days, you're totally fine. Also going to make the beef very tender. This is a cool trick that they use in Asian cuisine. So let's go into a bowl with the beef. And then we're going to chuck in a few tablespoons of arrowroot. Maybe just go 2. And then we're just gonna coat that. We're just gonna toss it all around, make sure that all the pieces of beef are fully coated. Now it's also gonna absorb some of the moisture as well. Perfect. So now we're gonna weigh out the beef and we're looking for about 120 grams of the beef. And you have a fresh serving ready to go, already portioned up. How cool is that? Here we go. So, now we're gonna make the black bean stir fry paste. So we're just gonna pop this can of black beans in the blender, like that. And we're gonna grab a 1/4 cup of organic soy. Make sure you are getting that organic soy because you don't want none of those GMOs. And then, you know, just wait, while it pours. And there you go, cup of soy sauce, 1/4 cup of soy sauce, here we go, boom. And we're just gonna grind this up into a paste. Here we go. Boom. Black bean paste. Ooh. Oh yeah, black bean paste. Perfect. So now we're gonna put this in a container. Make sure you use a nice pink spatula. You need to make sure you get a pink one. And then in we go with the paste. Oh yeah, look at that, that's the stuff. It's in there, perfect.
That looks disgusting.
Looks beautiful, smells beautiful. And then all you're gonna need to do is when it comes to cooking it, pop a couple tablespoons of this in and you're good to go. We'll show you in the video later. So it's Monday night, you're just coming from work and now you're gonna start cooking a nice fresh meal. You've got your pre-prepared vegetables, you've got your meat that's been portioned up, you've got your black bean sauce, it's ready to go. The only things you're gonna need is some stock. Make sure you get a nice low sodium stock and 1/2 cup of water. And to this, you're gonna add 1 teaspoon of arrowroot into the 1/2 cup of water. And then you're just gonna get a fork, whisk it up. This is called a slurry.
They should know that from one of our other meal preps.
So, heat on. Boom, got a nice high heat. We're gonna grab some organic sesame oil. Sesame oil is great for Asian cuisine. And we use about a tablespoon, so that's not that much, tablespoon. Okay, now at the top, we're gonna pop in the onions and the garlic. Beautiful, we're gonna fry that up. Now we're gonna in with everything else. Woo! And make sure you keep moving it so that that garlic and onion doesn't burn. Okay, now we're gonna fry this up for about 2 minutes. We're gonna pop this aside. We're gonna set it aside before we cook the beef. This is just go to the side, pop into a bowl, get that back on the pan, back on the heat. And now we're gonna add another tablespoon of the sesame oil and we're gonna fry off the beef. We can just take out the beef that we've already pre-portioned. Here we go, here we go. Toss that in, break it up. Beautiful. Make sure that beef goes back in the fridge. Break all that beef up and fry it up. Quick toss. Should only take about a minute, but it's so thin. Doesn't have to cook all the way through right now, because we're going to re-add the veggies back in, and we're going to add the stock and everything back in right now. So then we're going to take this out. That goes our beef. Beef straight into there. Perfect. So you add another half a cup of stock to make it 1 full cup. That's going to start to thicken up. Perfect. Going to stir, make sure there's no lumps. Now we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of the black bean paste. Now we're going to stir it all in. As you get that rapid boil, it'll start reducing down and getting really thick. Going to toss it back in now. All back in. Give that a nice stir. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm going to give that 1 more minute. Just keep mixing that around, make sure those edges don't burn. Mix it all through. Once it comes back to that hard boil, you're going to turn it off. Stir it through, and that is done. There you go, easy as that. Dinner is done. He's going to serve that up and eat it, and you are good to go. Look at that. Now Stef is going to show you how to make it for meal prep. Let's go, Steffi.
So now we're gonna pretend like we're just making regular meal prep. So we're gonna cook everything all at once and then place them in meal prep containers so that you can reheat them whenever you need them. You're gonna cut the vegetables and the beef the exact same way that Adam did, but now let's cook it all at once. So the first step, add in some sesame oil. Once that gets hot, we're gonna add in our onions and garlic. Get ready for the sizzle. Oh yeah. Stir that around. And now add in the veggies.
Simba.
Stir it all together. Cover and let this cook for a few minutes.
I can see you.
After about a minute, take off the lid and give it a quick stir. Give it 1 final stir, and it's done. Now you're gonna take this and put it aside. Back on the stove, the pan's hot, just add a little bit more sesame oil. And now add in the beef. Break it up with the spatula. You would still do the same thing that Adam did with the cornstarch or the arrowroot powder if you're preparing it all at once. Let it sit and cook for a minute, but watch it because it cooks fast since it's so thin. And again. It's okay if some of the beef is still a little bit pink because it's not done being cooked, but for now, we're just gonna set it aside right on top of the vegetables.
Good job.
Oh yeah. Next. Okay, now we're gonna make our slurry just like Adam did before. Put your slurry straight in the pan. Add 2 cups of stock. And stir together. Add in the black bean paste.
Oh, yum.
Once it's completely combined with the liquid, bring to a boil. Once it starts to boil, very carefully add back in your beef and your veggies. Stir it all together. Once it's all mixed in, cover it again and bring to a boil. Once it's boiling, give it a final stir. Now that it's done, we're going to portion it into our meal prep containers. The ingredients for this meal prep will make 5, but because Adam just made a meal, that's why I only have 4 here. So now we're going to try to evenly distribute all of the food into each of the meal prep containers. Now if you'd like, you can definitely pick out each little piece of beef to try and make exactly 120 grams of beef, but if not, just use your eyeball. Ready?
Let's go.
Don't close close these meals and put them away until they've cooled down, and when you reheat your meal and you're ready to eat, that is the time to garnish with the tops of the green spring onions.
We love seeing your pictures on Instagram. Make sure to keep sending those to us and hashtag BigCoupleCooks.
And don't forget about Snapchat.
As you can see, these meals are quite hefty without any rice, but if you are bulking, feel free to cook and add some rice to this meal prep.
Don't forget, if you enjoyed this meal prep video, to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out those other related videos over there. Have a great week, and we'll catch you next Sunday.
Bye guys. Namaste.
Hurry up, put up those things for pictures.